Hey everybody, TV Chips here. I saw Logan last night, and I was going to post a video last night, but I really wanted to take a little bit of time and collect myself before I reviewed it. Why, you ask? Well, Logan is quite simply a damn near perfect film. Um, we've seen the X-Men films, we've seen Hugh Jackman, we've seen comic book films for quite some time, and they're all different and they all have their own unique sensibilities to themselves. This film was different in so many ways. It's such a good film. It's almost hard to review it because, like, it's so passionate. I did write a review that is going to be posted on Sports Radio Detroit's website, and so you can check that out. And I'll leave a link to it once it's posted. I'll leave a link in the description below, so you guys can check that out. I was able to go a little bit more in depth with that. I loved the movie. It's so good. It starts out and you think it's gonna go kind of a certain way, and for the most part it does. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's not giving us anything. It's not giving us anything that we don't expect to see per se. There are some twists. There are some very unique twists, and there are some very interesting plot points that get examined. But for the most part, the film is, a traditional, kind of a comic book film. This one has a little bit of a Western theme to it. It's almost got that kind of that good guy, bad guy mentality that like Westerns have, where, sometimes the good guy he's a good guy because he needs to be. Not because of this great noble whatever. The performances are amazing. Hugh Jackman has been so incredible over the last 17 years as Wolverine, and this is going to be his last movie as Wolverine, and he pulled out all the stops and he made a great film. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. I think Patrick Stewart also is probably done playing Professor Xavier. He has hinted as such. I don't know if he's actually come out and said that this is his last X-Men film. I think he has, but I can't be certain. But it feels like maybe this is his last X-Men film. And he is amazing. I don't want to give away any plot details or any twists or spoilers because I feel like this is one of those movies that's worth seeing those things fresh. If you want to know what they're about, you can find out very easily. But I think, honestly, this is one of those movies where you kind of want it to be fresh. There's some films where, you can go, okay, well, I can know what's happening and I'm going to be fine as long as it's told in a good way. This one, I think, even if you knew it was going to be happening, you'd still be excited. But I think it would take away the genuine awe and excitement that you would have living those things instead of knowing of them. Yeah, Hugh Jackman is brilliant. Stephen Merchant has a wonderful role as Caliban, and he plays it fantastically. It's very interesting the way they, I always want to see more mutants in these films. It's always been my big problem with the X-Men films in general, is there's hundreds of mutant characters in Marvel's mutant Rolodex, and I want them all. I'm always like, this movie needed more mutants. I don't think I've not said that about a film ever. At least an X-Men film, that is. This one had the perfect amount. It had very few. It had a lot of just very interesting It was a good story. It was a really well put together story. It told Logan's, Old Man Logan's storyline from the comics very well, I think, but it still, it gave it its own twist. Obviously, they didn't tell the exact same story, but they told it in a way that was that honored the Old Man Logan comic book line. So. I definitely highly recommend Logan. I think all of the other characters, that had smaller parts. Eric LaSalle was very good. It's nice to see him pop up. I cannot think of his name. Boyd Halbrook is kind of the main villain, but he's not really the main villain. He's kind of like just the main villain's henchman. Like the main villain's main henchman kind of a thing, I guess. The only, if honestly, if I had to nitpick on this film, and obviously that's kind of what I have to do here, the only problem I had with it was the lack of a quality bad guy. This generic, evil scientist wants to take over the world, pretends to have good intentions but doesn't, kind of a thing. That's kind of played out a little bit. Here it works okay. It doesn't distract from the story. Also, we got the Reavers, but they never explained them or why they were who they were or what they were, anything like that. So you had all these bad guys and this conflict that didn't really make a lot of sense. So honestly, I think that was the only thing that I really didn't like about the film. Really, I think the performances were so good. Even the guys who, the guys who played the bad guys who didn't have a lot to work with were still fantastic and did such a great job. So I definitely highly recommend Wolverine. Like I said, I wanted to give it a little bit of time and let it marinate and just think about it, because it was such a good movie. There has been a lot of talk over the past couple of weeks about, there was chatter about Deadpool maybe getting an Oscar nomination. That was never really going to happen, just because of the sex scenes being the way they were. There is a lot of talk about this movie being nominated for an Academy Award down the line for perhaps a Best Picture, even a Best Actor nomination for Hugh Jackman. I think both would be deserving. Obviously, we're very early in the game, so, Wolverine's got an uphill battle to climb, but I think this being the second R-rated film in the modern comic book era, I think it's still going to get noticed and still going to be talked about, much the same way Deadpool was. So even though Deadpool kind of broke the mold, Logan just made its own mold and then broke that one. So it is very possible. I couldn't say for certain, just because you just never know. Also, we have, 9 months until award season starts to kick off. That's a lot of time. No, actually, we got like 10 months till award season kicks off. That's a lot of time for Wolverine to get nitpicked and pulled apart and doubted and second guessed. If it makes a lot of money, that will help. If it does good DVD sales, digital download sales, that's also probably a good sign for the movie. But it's an uphill battle. But it is a unique enough film that it could be remembered. So I definitely give it like a bunch of thumbs up, because it's a fantastic movie. I would definitely go see it and enjoy. If you have seen Wolverine, let me know what you thought. And if you're going to go see it, come back and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about the movie. Also, like I said, when it's posted, I will post the link to my written review here in the description below. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.